Right now, the American economy is doing something unusual. Prices in some sectors are still rising. Prices in others are already falling. The Federal Reserve has raised interest rates faster than at almost any point in modern history. And the debate among the most respected economists in the country is genuinely split. Is America heading into inflation or deflation? Most Americans have never had either concept explained clearly. And that gap, that missing information, is not neutral. Because what happens next to inflation and deflation will determine whether your savings grow or shrink, whether your debt becomes easier or harder to carry, whether the wealth-building mechanisms we covered in the last Follow the Money with Max investigation work brilliantly for you or against you. Today, Follow the Money with Max investigates inflation and deflation, what they actually are, what they do to your money, your debt, your investments, and your daily life, and what the specific moves are that protect wealth in each environment. Because understanding this changes how you make every financial decision from this moment forward. Let's follow the money. Let's start with inflation. Because everyone has heard the word. Almost nobody has had it properly explained. Inflation is not just prices going up. That is the symptom, not the cause. Inflation is what happens when there is more money chasing the same amount of goods and services. Think about it this way. Imagine a small town with 10 people and 10 apples. Each apple costs $1. The town has $10 total. The math is clean. Now someone prints 10 more dollars and gives them to the townspeople. Suddenly there are $20 in the town, but still only 10 apples. What happens to the price of apples? It doubles. Not because the apples changed, because the money became less scarce. That is inflation. The purchasing power of every dollar you hold goes down because more dollars exist relative to the things those dollars can buy. In America, the Federal Reserve, the central bank, controls how much money exists in the system. When the Fed printed trillions of dollars during the COVID response, it increased the total money supply dramatically. More dollars chasing the same goods. Prices rose. This is why a grocery cart that cost $100 in 2019 cost $130 by 2023. Not because food got better. Because the dollars in your pocket became worth less. Here is what inflation does to 5 specific things you probably care about. Your savings, inflation eats them. A dollar in a savings account earning 1% interest while inflation runs at 4% is actually losing 3% of its purchasing power every single year. Your debt, inflation helps you. A mortgage taken at $400,000 becomes easier to pay back in inflated dollars. The debt amount stays fixed while the dollars you earn inflate upward. Your real estate, inflation tends to push it up. Property values historically rise with or above inflation. This is why real estate has been called the classic inflation hedge. Your stocks, mixed. Companies that can pass rising costs to consumers do well. Companies that cannot see their margins compressed. Your cash, inflation destroys it. Cash sitting idle in inflation is a guaranteed loss in real terms. Now deflation. The one most people have heard less about. And the one that can be more dangerous. Deflation is the opposite. Too little money chasing too many goods. Prices fall. That sounds good on the surface. Things get cheaper. Who doesn't want cheaper prices? But here is what actually happens when deflation takes hold of an economy, and why every major central bank in the world is terrified of it. When prices are falling, people stop spending. Not because they don't need things, but because anything they want to buy today will be cheaper next month. So they wait, and next month it's cheaper still. So they wait again. This waiting destroys economic activity. Businesses see falling revenues. They cut costs. They lay people off. Unemployed people spend even less. Businesses cut more. The spiral accelerates downward. This is called a deflationary spiral. And once it starts, it is extraordinarily difficult to stop. Japan experienced this for decades starting in the 1990s. An economy with all the resources, all the technology, all the educated workforce in the world, trapped in a deflationary spiral for 30 years. The Great Depression in America was a deflationary event. Prices fell. Spending stopped. Unemployment reached 25%. Here is what deflation does to the 5 things inflation affects. Your savings, deflation increases their real value. The dollars you have buy more over time. Savers benefit. Your debt, deflation destroys you. The debt amount stays fixed while the dollars you need to earn to pay it become scarcer and harder to get. A deflation-era mortgage is a nightmare. Your real estate, deflation crushes it. Property values fall. You can end up owing more than your home is worth. Your stocks, deflation tends to devastate them. Falling revenues, collapsing consumer spending, rising real debt burdens on corporations. Your cash, deflation makes it worth more over time. Cash is king in deflation. The same 5 things. Completely opposite effects. So what do you actually do with this information? Because knowing the difference between inflation and deflation is only useful if it changes how you position yourself. Here is how the 6 wealth-building mechanisms from the last investigation perform differently in each environment. Compound interest. In inflation, the nominal returns on investments tend to be higher, but you need returns that beat inflation, not just match it. An investment returning 7% while inflation runs at 5% is only delivering 2% in real terms. In deflation, even a low nominal return can be powerful because the purchasing power of each dollar is growing. Dividend income. In inflation, dividend-paying companies in essential industries, utilities, consumer staples, energy, tend to hold up well because they can pass rising costs to consumers. In deflation, dividend income becomes more valuable in real terms, but can disappear if companies face collapsing revenues. Real estate. In inflation, real estate is historically one of the strongest protections. Your mortgage payment stays fixed while property values and rental income tend to rise. In deflation, real estate is one of the most dangerous positions to hold. Property values fall, renters become unable to pay, and your mortgage becomes more burdensome in real terms. Equity ownership. In inflation, companies with pricing power, the ability to raise prices without losing customers, outperform massively. In deflation, even strong companies can see their stock values collapse as consumer spending contracts. Intellectual property. This mechanism performs relatively well in both environments because it generates income regardless of the direction of prices. Your YouTube channel, your course, your book earns regardless of whether inflation or deflation is dominating. In an inflationary environment, the historical protective moves are real assets, property, commodity-linked investments, stocks and pricing power companies, and debt at fixed rates which becomes cheaper to repay in real terms. In a deflationary environment, the protective moves are cash, high-quality government bonds, minimal debt, and businesses or income streams that remain essential regardless of consumer spending levels. The most important thing to understand is this. The Federal Reserve's entire mandate is to prevent both extremes. They target approximately 2% annual inflation, enough to keep spending moving forward, not enough to destroy purchasing power rapidly. When they succeed, the wealth-building mechanisms work in the background without drama. When they fail, in either direction, understanding which direction they are failing in determines which financial decisions protect you and which ones destroy you. Right now in America, that question is genuinely unsettled. And the people who understand both sides of this are not waiting to find out which way it goes before they decide how to position themselves. They are already positioned for multiple outcomes simultaneously. My name is Max. This is Follow the Money with Max. If this investigation connected the dots between what is happening in the economy and what it means for your money, share it. Because most conversations about inflation are happening without this level of context. Subscribe. Because next Follow the Money with Max investigates something that your previous episodes have been building toward. How wealthy Americans make money legally disappear from the IRS's reach permanently through 5 specific mechanisms built directly into the American tax code. Not offshore accounts. Not illegal schemes. Legal infrastructure that has been the tax code for decades, quietly transferring generational wealth without triggering a single dollar of tax. That investigation is next. Follow the Money with Max.